Welcome to Theme Park Map Monday, episode 52. And this week we're going to go to the current 2019 and only a week or so ago, and this is the Universal Studios Singapore. If you ever get a chance to visit Singapore, definitely check out Universal Studios Singapore. It's brilliant. It's quite different to the Hollywood and the Orlando ones. It's, as a theme park, it's actually quite small, but it's got some really good stuff in there, and the atmosphere is great. There's lots of things going on, lots of just like appearances. They're just gearing up at the moment for this Halloween Horror Nights 9. Obviously those people who know Orlando are on to 19, so this one's still kind of in its infancy, but they got some great things coming up for that. They're really promoting it, going around Singapore with this kind of dungeon bus. And they've got this brand new Curse of the Naga, first ever haunted house by the directors of blockbuster Thai horror films Shutter, and but they're probably more of the sort of Asian culture of horror, so something we're not too familiar with. So whether you'll ever see this in Hollywood or Orlando, I don't know, but it'd be nice. Unfortunately, we're not going to be in Singapore when this is on, but people who are there, they're gonna have a great time. They're really gearing up well for it. We saw some of the setting up, and it was nice. So back to the actual studio guide. It's in a place called Resorts World Sentosa. Now Sentosa is like an island. It's been around there for a long time, but it's currently kind of become the touristy place for all the fun and exciting things to do. There's cable cars there, there's a luge, which is like a dry toboggan run, there's a Madame Tussauds, full Madame Tussauds waxworks with Marvel 4D and a little Singapore boat ride. There's beaches, there's bungee jumps, there's restaurants, there's rave machines, there's shows, there's all sorts going on. When you actually walk around the area directly outside Universal Studios, it's a bit like City Walk. There's loads going on, loads of shops, restaurants and that. The only thing we found, everything closed a bit early. I mean, the park itself closed at 6, and pretty much the whole of the area outside was done and dusted by about 10 o'clock. But anyway, back to that. So promotion, some of the things that are obviously quite different here. I say different, I'm going straight to Transformers the ride. Exactly like the ones in Orlando and in Hollywood, but brilliant nevertheless. I think it's that good a ride that's why they got it there. The world's tallest dueling roller coasters, Battlestar Galactica, Human versus Cylon. And actually these two roller coasters are very, very different. The Human one is quite tame, really. The Cylon one is really it's about like Nemesis, I suppose, as a British one. So they're good, they complement each other well, and the way they kind of intertwist and twine is pretty good. Revenge of the Mummy's pretty good. Similar to the ones that you get in Hollywood and in Orlando, but again it's got its own little Singapore touch on it. Waterworld show, a kind of copy, smaller copy, but very excellent copy of the Waterworld show that you get in Hollywood. Jurassic Park Rapids Adventure. So it's taken away the traditional boats that we've seen at both the other parks and gone to a rapid version here. Again, it's brilliant. You go up and you actually do a drop on the rapid ride, which is quite unique. I know there's a couple of places now that do it. I think they've opened one at SeaWorld in Orlando, and Phantasialand in Germany's always had a bit of a drop. So you can enjoy that here as well. Family fun with Shrek 4D Adventure. Bit of criticism with that, but people have said that it's in a massive castle that's kind of like Disney castle standard, and that's pretty much the only ride in it. It's kind of a ride show, but it's great to revisit that. We've been to the ones that are now closed in the other parks, so having it here is good. Puss in Boots Giant Journey, the world's first Puss in Boots roller coaster, and it is. It's a kind of hanging coaster. It's family orientated. It's quite tame, but it's fun. World's first Sesame Street immersive theme park ride, Sesame Street Spaghetti Space Chase. Obviously people have been going to Spain now, and at Portaventura doing the Sesame Street mission, street mission. Street mission is better than this, sad as it is to tell you, but it's still worth. It's quite a quirky, quaint little ride, and everyone who loves Sesame Street is aimed at that market, so good on them. Food choices. The food is pretty good. Sometimes theme parks are accused of food that's not so good. They had some great stuff here. Obviously in the Jurassic Park area, Jurassic Feast, fossil fuels, and a wonderful little dino popcorn bucket Brachiosaurus super. So it's all nicely themed as well, which we love and families alike love. Back of that, you've got all your normal promotions, all your annual passes, your apps and everything, and how to get around. It's quite good. Internet's on brilliant there as visitors, so the app hasn't worked as well as some places we've been to in the world. So we'll turn over to the main map, and as you can see, there's the layout set up into the different lands. You've got the Hollywood entrance with your usual Universal Earth ball, which kind of gets you in the mood straight away. You know that you're going to be visiting some Hollywoods. And you got Hollywood Street, nicely done. So stereotypical of all these sort of like Hollywood streets on Main Street. Goes through to the lake. Well, again, we didn't see, but had an amazing show at night. They only do that weekends, peak season. So as we venture around, we go into Madagascar. Now Madagascar is just, it's really quirky. It's done well. If anyone's been to like the DreamWorks part of Motion Gate in Dubai, that will find some familiarity here. Some of the sets look different, but the ride is very, very different. In Madagascar, it's crate adventure, and it's very interactive. It pretty much tells the whole story of Madagascar, and you go around in these boats. It's pretty good. You've got the King Julian's Beach Party go around, which is obviously a Madagascar take on the carousel, which is great. Kids love that again. Madagascar Boogie, the characters will come out at various times during the day and literally have a boogie, and they'll sometimes grab you up. So if you don't want to get involved with that, just stand back a bit. So we go on to Far, Far Away, which is obviously the land of Shrek and everything. It's brilliant. It looks so good. The rides on there pretty mediocre, I'd say. You know, there's a nice little Enchanted Airways, which is like a little junior roller coaster. You got the Shrek 4D Adventure, which is, like I say, exactly what they had in it, but such a nice castle surrounding to have it. Donkey Live, which is a bit like your Stitch Adventures, no, like Stitch Live or Monsters Inc. or Turtle Talk with Crush, those type of technology. Fun, but it's been done before, so not unique, unfortunately. Puss in Boots Giant Journey, probably the best ride in the area. It's right at the back. It's a storytelling of Puss in Boots. It's on a roller coaster. It's a hanging roller coaster. It's very well themed. Looks good. It's not exciting as in roller coaster exciting, but it's a fun ride to go on. And then you've got live shows and entertainment and things on there. And like we're saying here at the back of the Lost World, we've got the big show in Waterworld, similar to its American counterparts. Very good. Always worth a watch. Definitely. Always things to surprise you. And then you go into the Lost World. Again, it's like Jurassic Park recreated. Here you can actually see the birth of a little dinosaur. You can see a velociraptor. You can keep your distance because it's quite aggressive. You've got some nice restaurants. You've got some quirky little rides there. You've got the Canopy Flyer, which as adults you can actually go on. There's a version of this in Universal Islands Adventure, and unless you've got little kids with you, you can't go on it. So here's a chance to be a kid and get on it. You got rock climbing. Again, it's sort of not too hard. It's more set up for the kids again. You got the Jurassic Park Rapids Adventure. Now this is the one where you will get wet and goes through similar in layout to the sort of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World rides. Animatronic dinosaurs, things going on. Obviously, everything goes a bit haywire when things are interfered with, and again you end up getting attacked by a T-Rex and a big drop. It's nice though, we loved it. We got wet. It was 31 degrees, so it's good to have a bit of a cool down. So then you can go on from here to the SciFi City. Now, SciFi City, obviously, this is where you got Transformers. You can meet talking Megatron and stuff like that. The Transformers ride is brilliant. It's brilliant wherever you go on it, and it's the sort of ride you can go time and time again. You go on to, you've also got character, like I say, to the character meet and creates the Accelerator, which is a bit of similar again to Universal, where you've got the Marvel part with the spinning rides there. Fun, but it's cool, but it's a bit of a copy, to be honest. Now the unique stuff around here is the dueling roller coasters, where you've got all themed around Battlestar Galactica, which some people may not even actually remember. I mean, it's quite an unusual thing. It wasn't, it was big, but I don't think it was massively, and definitely not in today's society. It's not a massively well-known brand. But you get to choose human or cyclone. And with the cyclone one, you are going up and down, you're thrown to pieces, you are like mad robots. The human one is, you know, even the missus went on that and she's pretty a wuss, so it's fair to say pretty much anyone can go on the human one. But it looks great, it's nice positioned over the lake, the theming around it's nice, the whole sci-fi area is really good, so I recommend that as well. We kind of bypassed Egypt, didn't mean to, so we go back to Egypt, ancient Egypt, again nicely themed. It's got more of its own area, so where they've like stuck the mummy ride in the middle of nowhere in the other parks, this has got a whole themed area. And there's a kind of quaint little ride that goes around when you're on a treasure hunters. You're on the little cars, you don't have to do a lot, but there's lots of things to see and the things popping up. It's kind of, we had a queue for about 50 minutes for it, which was probably a bit long for that type of ride, but it's nicely done, so I won't complain. And then the mummy ride itself, I mean, when these first opened, they were like really received well, and they haven't dated. They're brilliant rides from a brilliant film, and we love it. You know, there's some surprise elements in there, there's lots going on, and obviously you get attacked. So finally we go on to New York. And New York, where you got your lights, cameras, action, which is actually hosted by Steven Spielberg, or at least some moving pictures of him. Well worth going on. It takes you back to the old type Universal Studios. You know, he shows you the movie magic, you get all the posters up of all the films, and then you actually experience filming of a massive tidal wave, typhoon, everything, and it's brilliant. It's like I say, it's more traditional, it's more of the Universal Studios of old, and that's one thing for me that we'll never take. Instead, then we go on to Sesame Street Spaghetti Space Chase. It's an okay ride, it's quirky, it's quaint, it's for the kids. And then we got the rhythm truck, which brings in the street dancers that you'd expect to see in New York. Again, nicely themed area. A lot of the Halloween stuff is going to be around this area, so definitely check that out if you ever get there. And then you can meet the Sesame Street characters. Overall, we loved it. You know, we spent a good day there. We had the fast pass. We did have to queue for some rides that weren't covered, and we managed to do everything pretty much in a day. Bit of a rush, but definitely well worth a visit. A lot of people go to Singapore just for a stopover, so they're a couple of nights. There's a lot more to do in Singapore than a couple of nights. If you can get a week there at any time, go for it. If you ever want any advice, just ask. It's dead easy to get to from the airport. The train network runs well. There is a link from Vivo City, which is right at the edge of the mainland, and a tramway that will then get you over to Sentosa and all the attractions there are to do there. We actually booked through booking.com, and we were staying at the Hard Rock Hotel, which we got inclusive entry to Universals and the nearby aquarium, the water park, and a couple of other smaller attractions. So extremely good value for money, even if it was 16 hours journey just to get there. But I hope you've enjoyed this. If you weren't fully aware that there was a Universal in Singapore, hopefully now you've learnt a bit more stuff. Yeah, definitely I would recommend going there. Quite different to the other parks, good fun, locals are lovely, food's good, and it's not too expensive either. It's got some good pricing. So thanks for watching again. Hopefully we'll see where we end up next week. We'll be back onto episode 53 next week. Not even sure now where it's going to take us. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.